Welcome back. We're doing another review video of a Maglite flashlight. This time it's going to be the XL50 model. This is a 3-cell flashlight. It uses 3 AAA batteries, as you can see pictured here. They all come with the batteries. They are different packages. This particular package is what's called the presentation box. As you can see, it's in a nice little case. They don't normally come with the Uline logo. Quick story about that. This is a free gift you get for placing large orders with the company. The particular company I work for does that, once a month or so, or sometimes twice a month. And every once in a while we get those gifts. We all take turns. This particular time it was my turn and I opted for this gift. Now I have done a review of the D-cell flashlight. I'll put the model number and a link to that video in this video someplace. That's a really bright light. This one's very bright too for the size of it, and we'll get into that in a moment. It's not quite dark enough to take the camera outside. Once it is, we will do that. But for the time being, we'll talk about it for now. Now, like I said, there are different packages. The retail price, which is this flashlight with the 3 batteries and a blister pack, it comes in at $52. Now, that's on the Maglite flashlight, so I'm sure you can find it on other sites cheaper, but that's getting it directly from the manufacturer. So of course, like I said, that's usually the highest case scenario. It comes in blue, silver, gray, red, and black. Obviously you're looking at the blue. The black has a tactical pack option, which gives you a little clip that fits at the end and a little tool that you'd use to install that. That actually comes in at $11 on its own, but that kit together actually comes in at $58.50. And the retail price for this is actually $52. The blister pack's $50.50, I should mention. Now this light has a rating of 200 lumens. It has a runtime of 25 hours on low, and low is 25% power. Full power rates in at 6 hours 45 minutes. And I can tell you this thing is definitely quite bright. Now it does have 3 modes. It has the high power, the 25% power, and then it has a strobe. And you activate all those modes from the back here. There is a little push button on the tail cap here, and to access the battery compartment you would just unscrew this, and you can see there is a really nice seal over here. They do recommend lubricating this twice a year with petroleum jelly, and I do recommend that too. And also, over time you want to just make sure these contacts are clean. Now, I was trying to figure out how this thing works, because it seems like the circuitry obviously is in here to make the unit flash or not, but normally with these flashlights, at least the analog ones we'll call them, with just the simple on and off switches, you're just connecting the circuit behind the battery and sending the power up to the light. This particular one seems that there's a separate core in the middle, so the light is actually completely insulated, if you will, from the body. In terms of, it's not just a simple power going up the battery, through the batteries from the light from the tail cap. It actually, the batteries are powering the tail cap, and then the different modes are being sent through the battery little pack here, through this little, silver wire. It's actually a metal rod you can see through here, and that's running up through the actual battery pack into the bulb. So as you hit that tail cap, you're turning that light on that way instead of yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but basically think of it as the circuitry is up in here and not the light. You're not turning power on. You're not just turning the light on. To make it strobe and to make it do all those other modes, it has to have a controller someplace, and here it's just, I believe it's in this tail cap. The other part about this is the front. If you lift this up a little bit, it's adjustable like the other flashlights. I like just leaving it like this. I find you get the best light from it, but you can actually take this all the way off if you want. The serial number is underneath there. I do recommend registering the serial number. There is a 10-year warranty on these, believe it or not, which is great. I've had many Maglites. This video isn't endorsed by anybody, by the way, so I'll get that out there. I personally would buy this, despite it being a free gift. Honestly, I would have bought this, knowing now how bright it is and the value it is. It definitely it's definitely pretty bright. The D-cell flashlight I was mentioning retails on their site for $70, I believe, because I looked at it the other day, and I bought one on eBay for $35 myself personally. as a gift for somebody. So that tells you, you can get them much cheaper than the prices obviously I'm mentioning here. I should mention this has a beam distance of 224 meters, and it does seem like it throws pretty far. I'll point out the reflector in here. You can see it looks almost looks like it's on because it's just reflecting that much light from here. And you can also see that little bit of yellow in there. That's the actual dot on the LED. In fact, I'll just give you a quick up close of that. If the camera focuses on it, yep. You can see that little yellow dot is actually the part that emits the light. And when you look at that now in this reflector, you can really see how much that reflector amplifies that. So it really does throw the light quite far. And we will test that as soon as it gets dark enough. Dimensions, if you're interested in that, it has a length of 4.8 inches or 121.92 millimeters. The head diameter is 1 inch or 25.4 millimeters. It weighs in at 3.68 ounces or 104 grams. And it has a drop resistance of 1 meter. And it looks like it has a water resistance of IPX4. And I will look up those specs and put that also in the video here, translate what that actually means. But yeah, right now I'm just going to go ahead, cut footage, load the batteries in. I'll show you how actually that goes. Why not? And if you didn't notice, by the way, when I had the little lens cap off before, there is also another one of those seals on that side as well. You want to also make sure you put some Vaseline on after a while. Yeah, here's the tail piece here, or the spring for the negative side. The positive side goes in there, and they alternate. And this is your standard. Actually, it looks like in this one, 2 of them don't alternate, 1 of them does. So this must be the beginning of the pack. And then over here, there's 1 pin on the top, 1 on the side that goes in there. You can see there's a contact on the outer side, a contact on the inside. So that's what I'm saying, how it's insulated. Usually the case carries the ground. This particular one, the ground's a whole separate pin. And you can see in here there's 2 different contacts, and those are what meet here. And then there's another one on the outside, and there's actually a 3rd pin. So there's 3 connections all together in here to connect on there. And we are underneath the lighting of multiple LED sources. I have a 10-watt light directly over the table. We have a big strip, also have videos on those. Behind me there is a couple of iridescent lights, and I also have a large LCD TV in here, and that's on, so you get a lot of light from that. But with that being said, you can still see quite a bright dot. As a matter of fact, my camera had to actually dim that out a little bit because it was swamping it out. That's high power, and if you tap it twice, that's 25% power, and if you tap it 3 times, that's the strobe mode, which is full power light at a really, really bright. I mean, I don't want to shine directly at the camera because that's not fun. It's kind of nauseating, and that's the purpose of it. This is a kind of a great light to have in your pocket because, well, you can see the size of it. I don't have very big hands, but it just feels right in the hand. And I might be a little bit of a Maglite fanboy. I mean, I grew up on these things. My dad had one forever, and it was just a standard, your standard bulb flashlight, the old school Maglite with the extra bulb and the cap, and yeah, it worked, And then you used to have the little Streamlight ones, the little pocket ones, and the actual Streamlight brand. They were all right, but the Maglite ones I think were a lot better, and they just lasted longer. But now with the LED ones, they're just far surpassed anything. I mean, I have one of the earlier LED flashlights. If I can find it in time in this video, I will bring that out. But it's the actual ones that look like the old school ones. I think I actually have it here someplace as I mumble on. That particular flashlight is right here. I did a review of this one, and it is LED, but it's the old style LED. I mean, it is still bright in its own regard, but it just, yeah, 25% bright on the new one is nowhere near the brightness of the old one, and that runs on, I think, 3 AAA batteries I have in here, or 3 AA's I should say. And this one, it's got that old school design, which I like. It looks like the old Maglites, and you could tell it's different too because this one has that really big reflector. And you know, all things considering, this thing was bright, I guess you could say, in its day. It's only 2 batteries in this one, so perhaps if it was a 3 battery unit like this one, it would be a brighter bulb. But I would say another 20 minutes or so, it should be bright enough. So I'll come back once I have full darkness, and we'll do a nice outside shot so I can show you the light. As promised, we're back outside once again for another one of these LED light comparisons. I'm going to come out here just above the camera a little bit, and I'm going to show you the older style LED light. Now, there's a fence straight behind, I should say actually, straight in front of the camera here. And the fence is, I would say, 50 feet. I don't have it measured for sure, but just given the length of my trailer here and the length I know of the property, that's about 50 feet. We'll say it's anywhere from 40 to 50 feet away. We'll give it a 10 foot margin here, just for ha-has. Also, right in front of us here is a tree you can see lit up nice and bright. However, the light doesn't quite project out there very far. Even if I focus it, it doesn't really go out. You can see it on my hand. It is, like I said, nice and bright, but you really can't see it. If I put it on the house and then you just lose it. You really can't see it out there. There is a pond. You can barely see the bench. There's a little shiny piece that's like one of those citronella candles in a metal bucket that's barely lit. Here's the new flashlight, and I think that's a massive difference. You can totally see the light a lot better. Not to mention you have the little click. I like the click. You don't have to fuss like this one to turn it off. You have to actually twist it, so it's a two-handed thing, where the other one is just a one-handed thing. You just click it, off it goes, on it goes. Simple. Much nicer design. Definitely having the 3 lights in there is a lot brighter. So now you can see the bench, you can see the pond, you can see the fence, you can see the fence behind that fence, the vegetation back there. It really projects the light nicely. If I turn this head, you can see it kind of fills the yard a little bit more. It's not as precise of a dot. Here's the fine dot, and then here it is unscrewed outwards. In fact, let me turn the other flashlight on so I'll show you. You can see that's extended outwards. There it is. And this light, it doesn't even make a difference. You could see it on the house, but other than that, it really doesn't do much. Up close it does. I mean, don't let me say this is a bad light, because this light is still pretty good. This one is just awesome. Now, the battery life, 6 hours, I think I said it was, 45 minutes. I think that's pretty good. I mean, if you really want, you can put it on 25%. Now here's full power. There's 25%. It's still brighter than that other flashlight. Here it is, I still have it on. It doesn't reach. This one totally reaches, no problems. So that's it. I mean, there really isn't much more to add to this video. I can show you the strobe light. That's that nauseating strobe light. You get that shine in your face, it's definitely going to disorient you until you put your hand across your face and kind of get your bearings, but that might give somebody a chance to get the lead in on you. Anyway, with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and as always, we'll see you next video.